for that money, just have your guy deliver it. Don't do it yourself. It's just too much. It's stupid. Definitely not. I have a feeling that this is going to be in GTA 6, and that's why they're introducing it now, this company. This is not a very good car. It's got good traction. Everything else about it is pretty meek. Nice. But you can't really do it because it's RNG. You can get like, I mean, yeah, he's doing it based on percentages, but those percentages aren't set in stone. You know what I mean? Just because you only have a 10% chance. If and the more of them you do, and over 111 crates, I'm pretty sure it usually averages out to whatever the averages are. You know what I mean? But you would assume so, but that's not to say that it's an exact science. I would think it's kind of hard to say for sure that that's the exact number that it would cost. Maybe 5,200, maybe 5,400, maybe 4,900. It all depends on how well the crates come to you. Maybe you get a higher percentage than the average, than the mean. You know. Yeah, I just wouldn't. I don't know. I like to get it done faster. That's your method. Your method will get it done, but it's just gonna take a long time. Too true. Oh, did I went. No, there's no way. But that's not true though. Sourcing will take forever. Because you have to take into consideration that when you're not sourcing, you are going and making money in other ways, and that is going to. That's true. I'm not denying it. I'm just saying that the payoff is just gonna be. It's gonna take forever. That's all. Where the hell are these guys? Yeah, it's always best to move it when you can, when you feel like you're in a good situation. I felt like I was in a good situation the other day. I had something. Not the other day. It was like whatever, like 4 or 5 days last time I was on. And I sold. I moved. I had done 4 out of 5 of the first thing. It was helicopters. And like 4 out of 5, and all of a sudden I noticed, and thankfully I noticed, because I was just about to sell too. but I noticed that it went from 4 out of 5, or 4 out of 15 to 4 out of 5 super fast, just when I was about to deliver. And if I had delivered, I would have been screwed. I would have been stuck with only selling 5 out of 15 because he almost got me, is what I'm saying. He destroyed my other 2 helicopters, and I almost didn't notice. But I was able to close and get my stuff back. And I just sold in a better lobby. Well, I say better lobby. They're trying something different. They've gone to a more, yeah, they want you to like subscribe and stuff like that. So I feel like they're limiting opportunities for money, big money. It used to be that every week was a different major sale. You know, every week was a different double money thing. Nowadays, it was one of those things where, like, if you missed out this week, well, you know, a month later they'll come back with double money on that thing, so you can just do it again a month from now. You know? Now they stretch that out to once every few months. Need him to be down here. Found a way to get back up. Oh shit. Help!
You're lucky I'm a good person.
Drop the weapon!
Oh.
What the?
Oh my.
Get a job! Say something!
Who the hell are you?
He's hit!
Looks like I'm going by car lady.
Over there.
No freaking way this thing died. Let's run.
I'm...
Hello! Shalom Aleichem! It's nice to see you.
Hey, partner. All right, shit, let me make a few calls. Man, this should be a wholesome-ass day of work.
Yeah,
The target is some back...
You have to wait forever. Gotta come out. God forbid he spots you, he runs right away. This mission failed. Fuck this remote bomb. I never do it right. Yep. I always get spotted when I'm doing it. Yeah. Well, it's usually the first hole that they put in. No. It's at the golfing course. I have to put the remote bomb in. Yeah. I get spotted every time, so it's like, why even bother? I could just go to a new session and just get another one. I'd rather... I mean, if it was only a 20-minute cooldown, I'd keep giving it a shot, but a 48-minute cooldown, forget it. Gotta make sure that I hit each one of these each time because of the cooldown and just the amount of time it's gonna take, and the fact I have to do 100 of them. Yeah, I see why not, but why even waste it? Because a regular bullet explodes the car anyway. It's like... Then again, who knows? If you don't get the right truck cab, they won't let you pass the kill the car.
Yo,
with the
what you
truck,
need?
or kill the truck with the kill the car with the truck mission.
You got it, partner.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, I don't know. Maybe it wouldn't work. I don't see why it wouldn't, but this game is funky like that.
You ever heard of this show called Closet CEO? Or some asshole...
Yeah, probably. That was probably back in the day. Now they probably force you to move them because I've noticed that they fixed some of that. But like I remember, if you used to put a car into a full garage, it would just eliminate a car randomly, usually too. Like back in the day. Yeah, there was no love lost for your vehicles if you weren't keeping track of how much something was in there or whether or not you sold the property with it in it. Yeah, you probably lost some stuff. I don't see this container. I don't see it. Not one iota. Oh, there it is. I see it. Wait for this guy to come back. He was probably standing right the whole time I was looking. Oh, there's some bats. We're killing with this. Your favorite? Wow, he literally walked around. Step into my bar. Come on, man. I was just reading about it, how the FAA just okayed the latest attempt at flying cars, airplane slash. Oh my God, no! How did I miss it? What the fuck? Now it falls. Of course, it's totally ET job. Yeah, they did that in the late 60s, early 70s. They made ones that they made cars that could dock with wings and some type of propulsion system and fly. But the FAA kind of nixed it after a while, probably because of safety concerns. But I wouldn't be shocked if it was also because, like, planes have monopolies and they wanted the planes to make money, and if everybody has a flying car, then how do you regulate that? How do you keep people from crashing into each other? It'd just be probably a lot worse than cars driving. Plane, imagine millions of planes in the air at once. It'd just be a disaster. So I think there was logistics and other things to take into consideration. There were a lot of things, probably, but I would say probably the biggest one was the plane lobbyists who are like, yeah, getting the federal government, the FAA, to not allow them anymore. So much so that most of the ones that were made in the 60s and 70s were forcibly scrapped so that they, that they couldn't be used anymore. There are a few that are still in existence, museums and stuff, but yeah, there's no private collectors really have those kind of plane cars anymore because they disappeared. But now they're back, 2023. We're finally going to get our flying DeLorean. Back to the Future. Alright, third time's a charm.
We should smoke one together soon.
Hey, partner. Yeah, I got it.
I got to shoot the container to kill the guy at the thing. First I couldn't find the container. It wasn't hanging in the regular spot that I'm used to seeing it. I did find the container. Took him like 4 minutes to walk underneath it, and then when he finally does, I'm shooting the thing, it's not falling. It doesn't fall until after he leaves.
For a day or two. But keep thinking about.
So I failed. Well, I didn't really fail because I didn't kill him. As long as you don't kill him, you can just go and do another one. I'm not being kind to me right now. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do these construction site ones. They take forever and they're not always reliable. It's only one monkey, that's the crazy part. It makes a lot of noise for one monkey, that's for sure. I told you the trick is to keep your snack screen up so that as soon as they start pegging you, you can just keep eating snacks until you can get out of the way.
Yo, what you need? Alright, got it. I'll ask around and get back to you.
That's frustrating when they take you out of the driver's seat. I found the trick. The best trick I could give you. And that one is drive in the middle of the road. They tend to pass you less. If you're driving in one lane or the other, they're going to try to pass you. But if you're in the middle, they tend to try to pass you less, and they just keep bopping you from behind. Oftentimes shunting you forward. So it's close. And also keep your snack screen up for when they do get around you, because it's not foolproof. Nothing's foolproof. They're inevitably going to get in front of you once or twice. But they get in front of you a lot less when you drive in the middle of the road. Yeah, I mean, they shoot too. Drivers shoot though. It's the same thing. It's not worth it. If I had to guess, no. If I was at 100, I would have stopped. I'm over 50, I can guarantee you that. At least, maybe add 50. Wow. I'd have to look at that computer in the office to find out.
Hello.
I did a lot of professional back in the day. Some would say I was the
Okay, drive
professional.
careful. Okay.
Nice. How are you? Nice. Hey, buddy. Damn it, I drove to the water and I didn't get glimpse of the water. Yeah. Thought I was taking a shortcut. Oh man, I'm in the middle of nowhere. Let's go here. Well, so much for taking a shortcut. I should have just gone to the places. No, the taxi was off, didn't it? Oh no, it didn't. I love how the guy just stays in the taxi even though he knows you're actively trying to kill him. tell you right now, I'm loading into the office. Funny thing is, probably have the same amount. Probably have around like 70 or 80 myself. If I had to guess. I have 3 of those. I didn't buy any of them. I won all of them. I was given one for finishing the casino thing. I was given one on the wheel, and I was given one for doing something else. I don't remember what. And I kept all of them. So I have them all in a row in my garage, just because each of them were given to me with a different, like, weird skin livery that wasn't, you know, available at the time on anything else. So it was unique. So I said, I'll keep it. How many did you say contracts did you say you had? I have 77 contracts completed. Yeah, the exact same amount. And as for the specialist, yeah, I'm actively working on that. Yeah. 43. That's the exact same amount you have too. In fairness, and back in the day when I first would do this, if I didn't get a specialist, I would just turn off my PlayStation and I would come back later. I didn't know the trick of going to your public lobby and it'll reset, and then going back to a private lobby and it'll reset again. Once I learned that, it's been smooth sailing. But yeah, not knowing that was kind of rough. In a way, it was kind of like as slow as doing the payphone hits. Let's see if I have any. Rescue Operations Specialists. So that used to happen. Last year, they put the kibosh on that. They made it so that you can't lose your cars. Like I said, there's one way of doing it was putting too many cars into a garage, and what they would do, I actually remember now, it wasn't random. They would ask you, what car would you like to replace? And you would pick a car that you wanted to replace, but they would erase that car that you chose to replace. And I did that like twice before I realized that I lost those cars. And what really sucks is one of them was a free car that was given to me at Christmas. It came with a livery that was only on that car and only available for Christmas, which made it a very rare thing. And it's gone. I couldn't. You can still get the car, but you can't get the livery. And I was like, are you kidding me? It was wrapped like a present with a bow tie on it, with a tie on top of it. It was weird. I was annoyed that I lost it.
Hey, listen up. You
Weren't
know
you
the deal?
Were you the one that was complaining about there possibly being gas stations and having to fill up gas? Being too real? And yet you want turn signals? I mean, that's kind of tedious because, I mean, in a way, if they put that in there, then what's the consequence of that? Then they have to have police pull you over if you're not doing them, right? I mean, the same thing like in GTA RP, you have to buckle your seatbelt. If you don't buckle your seatbelt and you crash, you'll go through that window and have the potential to die. In GTA RP, death is pretty final, you know. When you reset yourself after dying, you have to pretend everything that happened before then hadn't happened. So anybody that you met in that session, anything like that, they have to be like strangers to you again. That's part of the rules of RP. So dying for something stupid like not putting your seatbelt on and then crashing at 30 miles an hour and having to reset is annoying. You know? But again, if you put the mechanic in there, then if they, you know, they probably will put that stuff in there for NPCs. I don't think they'll put it in there for us. That's what I'm getting. I can see NPCs doing that in this game. Yeah. If they put it in there so that we're capable of doing it, I feel like then we have to do it. They have to do something with it. Same thing with the seatbelts. If they make it so that you can fasten seatbelts, then there has to be consequences if you don't. You know, like they're not going to put the effort of putting the stuff in there without it being some type of mini game or mechanic. You know, like they put the cleaning of the guns into Red Dead Online and Red Dead 2. What was the consequence of that? If you didn't clean your guns, they weren't as effective, and PvP, you're going to get wrecked. You can't play properly without them, yeah. I mean, but that's my point. Rockstar treated Red Dead Online and Red Dead 2 as like we were like guinea pigs for really what they were going to do with GTA 6. You know, a lot of that stuff was testing. You know, people like GTA RP, so they put a lot of RP in Red Dead and to see if they can, you know, do it as well as the RP servers do. You know, the stupid mechanics with feeding your horse or he's going to die, like grooming your horse or he's not going to love you. Like, I'm sure there's going to be some type of similar system in I think I'm gonna tell you the number one reason why that wasn't as popular, and I guarantee you it is what it is. You know, it's unfortunate. You know, I take like Alex is a good example of that kind of stuff, or that kind of age group that I think of when I think of these things. He loved the game at first, but the tedium of having to have such a big map and have so few options to travel and having to ride your horse in such long lengths of time, and considering that it's just a glorified fetch quest, you know, you're doing a lot of riding, you know what I mean, and that is boring to these kids nowadays that are just, you know, I'm not saying I was a kid, but you know, his reaction is the same I would expect from like a 16-year-old. Like, this is boring. I'm driving cars at 200 miles an hour in GTA, and I'm riding a horse at about 5 miles an hour in Red Dead across a map that's 3 times larger than GTA's. And I think that's the number one reason why it just did not do as well. I mean, there's a lot of other little things you could point to. The updates were few and far between. When COVID happened, that really like put the kibosh on them, like, you know, prioritizing multiple games at once. They really just, they refocused everything on GTA 6 at that point, you know. And it shows with these updates for GTA 5. It shows with them quitting Red Dead way too early. Yeah, the biggest thing is they made a game that's 10 years old just made more money than a game that was only 3 or 4 years old. It's just unfortunate that this old game, GTA, could still generate 4 times, 5 times, 6 times the money that Red Dead was. Especially because they put a lot of stuff behind paywalls. Like, there was a lot of stuff that required gold in Red Dead, you know. Like, you can get by in GTA without having to buy a shark card if you know what you're doing. But there's certain things, especially once they took away the making of gold easy with the daily objectives and weekly objectives. Once they took that away and tried to force people to buy gold, it didn't go well. Still, you know, I mean, they did everything in their power. They pushed everything all in on us, forcing us to try to buy gold, a different type of currency, because it's not something that we just couldn't make anymore. And they still didn't make enough money off of it. So it's all about the Benjamins. They'll keep updating games till Kingdom Comes if it's profitable. Like, I never got why they kept updating Avengers. Avengers was such a failure of a game, and then the pandemic happened, and they updated it even less than what they had promised, and the player base just fell off drastically within the first few months once they realized that it was a live service that just wasn't, like, you know, releasing updates. People just gave up on it, and yet they kept, like, through two owners, they kept trying to update it and trying to refigure it and trying to make, you know, squeeze every last cent out of it. And it was a failure upon launch, and there was just nothing that they could do that was going to change that. Nobody wanted what they were giving us, and yet they kept trying. Whereas I feel like the player base for Red Dead was a lot bigger than Avengers ever was, and there was a dedicated player base. Do you remember seeing, like, when everyone dressed like a clown to like show Rockstar that they feel like they're being treated like clowns, or that, you know, stop clowning around and give us our update? You know, they were doing a lot of different reasons why the clowns were out there, but mainly it was because the fans were clowns for loving this game, that Rockstar just wasn't putting any effort to reciprocate that love, you know. And that ultimately is something that people have to remember. For as good as they did, and for as much as they did for a game that's 10 years old, they will screw you the second that they don't turn a profit on something. Rockstar is not a very fan-friendly company. Just sucks that they killed Red Dead. I love that game so much. There's still so much more potential. I feel like a lot of games, though, just died on the vine once COVID hit. Nah, I mean, I used to do the regular time trial all the time. I've done the House one once or twice. I'm not a huge fan of it. Those RC time trials, forget about it. I've watched people do them on YouTube. They suck. You gotta be, like, pretty accurate with those things. There's one guy, Dr. Crush, he's doing a Loser Luxury series, and he has a wheel of quick cash, he calls it. Every episode he'll do something based on the spin of the wheel, and a lot of times RC time trials will come up, and it's just like the most frustrating thing for him to do, and I see how frustrating it is. There's times where he thinks he's close and he fails, and only to realize that he's like 15 seconds away from the finish line even after he failed. So he thinks he only has a couple of seconds to cut off. Now he's got like 20 seconds to cut off to get to the bar time. But the regular one, I like the regular one. I don't know why I don't do the House one. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't mind. I don't mind them, I just don't prioritize them. I'll do one every once in a while, but not religiously. What was I doing? Oh yeah, I'm going to have a bunch of cars to upgrade. they fixed the gun locker situation. Remember, I think I told you like a month or two ago about how if you own certain gun lockers, it would glitch and you wouldn't be able to switch your loadouts. Well, one of the updates in the past year fixed that, because I was finally able, for the first time since I've owned this game, or basically, yeah, because I didn't really have a gun locker before I got rich, and then I bought the one that glitched me. I was able to change my loadout for the first time in this game. I was so excited. I was finally able to take some useless weapons that I never use off my list. Although there's still some useless weapons on here I just like keeping, like the musket. I just like keeping it just to troll people. Like I'll use it to kill like people who mess with me that I just don't want to deal with. I'm gonna show them the superior power by killing them with a one-shot musket. I wonder if any of these are Eclipse garage worthy. I mean, I did spend like $2 mil on the new car. I'm upgrading the new car now. Well, you know what? Actually, I'll upgrade the car that I want up the wheel first.
What were you looking for?
Volcar Warner.
What can I help you with? Rather safe than sorry, I guess.
Alex, he should be getting up for work soon. Yeah, but no, but Rockstar swears that they don't program them like that. That they don't hunt you down in the middle of a mission when you're trying to sell and you need them to get out of the way. Or at the last second they'll switch lanes just before you get there. Or they'll just cut in front of you for no reason whatsoever, and there's no rhyme or reason to that. Yeah. Well, the red light one might just be because Rockstar does say when you're going super fast that they'll do slightly erratic things. So if you're close enough to them, they might. Yeah, I mean.
If you can think it.
Well, it's like I said, they had the ability to make fast cars before, but they didn't have the ability with the processing power to make the world come in fast enough around it, which is why we didn't get HAL's vehicles until PS5 and next gen Xbox. There are certain vehicles that can go as fast as a HAL's vehicle, but I don't know. They had issues loading the world in things that fast. Yeah.
No rush at all.
Yeah.
Making decisions is stressful.
Dressing up as them and risking your life and future health. Then, have your face digitally removed on a green screen.
hard when you can have anything.
Yeah, I think at one point they meant for it to be more like the hangar, but when they made it, they screwed up something because it does say that yeah, items sold at the same amount make
Whatever you
more, but
decide.
it doesn't work that way.
Technology
I
and
think at
budget
one
permit.
point it was meant to be that way, and either the programmers just gave up on it because they thought it was too difficult, or they screwed something up in the code and they just didn't care, and they just let it be as it is. So yeah, I think at one point you were supposed to source specific things, and if you sold specific things, you got bonus as well. And they did that later on in things like the
They
nightclub.
don't get involved.
Drug-addled degenerates and polluted desperados that make up this great city of lights. Hi, I'm decorated FIB agent Stephen Haynes. The FIB, the police department, the sheriff's office are fighting a war out here every day.
Do you need
In
a
a
drink?
city where dreams too
Bubbles
often
or
come wet.
something?
Tears.
Big more. Whoa.
If you can think it, I can do it.
We're giving up our national security for nothing? Who knows? Who cares? As long as the
I've
financial party continues.
I never got rated in mine.
How many cars you got in this garage again?
Never use PCP. It makes you want to punch cops or run around naked, not necessarily always in that order. Most of the time, this illicit cargo makes it straight to the game. But sometimes an ordinary Joe lets go and loses shit after a pipe or two of pleasure dust. Lagos.
No rush at all.
Bloodthirsty Chicanos with a predilection for pain, papaya juice, and spicy plantains. They're one of the largest Mexican street gangs in the city, with rumored connections to several major mafias. While half the battle out here is fought with guns, the other half is with informants. Sometimes you need to become the bad guys to bust the bad guys. All these families are shooting each other.
Making decisions is stressful.
Junkies are shooting into their veins. The families look to sports almost as much as they love pain. They are like all the weary and those confused and torturous. The families call themselves pain free. Of course, like all families,
Life is hard when you can have anything.
turns out the families love shooting each other almost as much as they love shooting bombs. Now the LSPD have had many run-ins with various family sets over the years. The faults, the FIB take a more community outreach approach. Now the Wallace fly the colors of Los Santos organic or the poor, purple, because they are the blues on the face of this city. While some thugs obviously prefer poor bills and the desperados, outlaw motorcycle gangs, the Wasp. Rumors are they get a new tattoo for every person gets tattooed. And it's definitely okay for your motorcycle mama to show the rest to your friends.
Whatever you desire.
Yeah, it's one of
Technology
those.
and budget permit.
Oh wait, no, it's what is that? It's not the Arbitron. I don't know what that is.
When they're not hunting, they're smoking. Or so I hear a gang's new brothers told toilet. And believe
spent 21,000 on a steering wheel. Sure. I wonder why sometimes you do the things you do in this game.
Dressed as zombies and entertainers dressed as cartoon characters. It takes something particularly awful to really catch people's attention. The famous unsolved
Baby's all grown up.
in such case. For years, horny nerds have wondered what happened to Leonora Johnson, and if they would have plucked up the courage to speak to her or kill her themselves.
Think long and hard.
But I'm all trying. Maybe drinking's your thing. Look at this drunken buffoon proving that there doesn't always need to be criminal intent to cause.
Look at her now.
I, Stephen Haynes, will show you the plaster side of crime in Los Santos. Illegal street racing, cocaine, and vice. Yes, speed, sport, and sex. The alliterative precinct of El Topo.
Do you need a drink? Bubbles or something? Girl is looking good.
But San Andreas is still the place where dreams are made. This is where Albert Entertainer and walk into a magic school. A place that preaches environmental solution, but has a terrible transit system and the worst air in the world. Experience it.
If you can think it, I can do it. Stick to the speed limit. I'm joking, of course. Those things are almost indestructible. Be your best you. What can we do to it? We know what you need.
Bavarian car key party.
The new car is getting upgraded.
Norwegian salmon rancher surprise. Yum. Fat tip.
But who'd want to shoot you?
Stop crushing.
Yeah. Cheetah's a very old car. It's like one of the OG cars from the beginning of the game.
What are you doing, Master?
How many cars you got in this garage again?
You're one too horny.
Don't she look pretty? No rush at all.
Lucky, you little alcoholic shitbag. Are you okay?
That's a nice car.
That wasn't Saki's illicit booze bag. Something is going on outside.
I've got that installed for you. Making decisions is stressful.
Those mirrors are so unique on the
Life is hard when you can have anything.
Yeah.
Whatever you desire. Technology and budget permitting. Your cosmetics are on point. Think long and hard.
The Buffalo? It's good. It's a good car. Should get it. Chance. It's expensive. But it's fast.
That'll stop you bouncing around.
It's okay. I mean, it's a house vehicle.
Do you need a drink? Bubbles or something?
What was the one you said before, the Torero? I have the Torero. Yeah, I have that too. Interesting.
Look after yourself.
This car has 6 bars of acceleration and it's not a house vehicle, the new one. When you upgrade it. I don't think so. Well, I don't double check. They usually say when it is. It's an electric vehicle. I hate electric vehicles. It's so quiet. Yeah, I've upgraded to taking it over to the house car meet just to see if it's a house vehicle. Oh, so it's a house vehicle. Why don't they tell you these things? Why do you have to figure these things out through other people? Yeah, it does. That's why it's one of the better per hour performers.
HSW, baby, let's go.
Damn, I got
Get ready for some G's.
paying all this extra that I missed out on the house stuff now. I already moved everything. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Of course
you're
I did.
tuning now.
Of course I did.
Fattest turbo there is.
This is weird. It has a mode on it. I've never seen that before.
Perfectly balanced.
Yeah, I'm easily spending another $1 million plus that I screwed up here. That's all good though. Huh? Mode instead of turbo. I have to take this thing on a test drive. It's electric. I get it. Yeah. So it has to. You have to press a button for it to change to a different mode. I got it. It's still interesting. I've never seen that before. Yeah. There's different modes. There's race, race plus, competition, street driving. I think. I got the race plus. So. True. That is too true. Ooh, this too much traction. Did have 5 bars of traction before house. Wow. That's pretty, I guess I'll follow it. Alright, it's a pretty good racing vehicle. I can see myself getting down with this thing. Oh, not enough. The traction is just ridiculous. It just sticks to the road like glue. Like there's not a ton of oversteer when it comes to go fast enough. Okay. I don't know this road. Did they put the puddles in those places on purpose to screw you up? I feel like they do. It's just too much oversteer. It's more me than the car. Definitely more me than the car. Alright. Get me out of here. answer the question, is it a Monitech? Oh, it's a house vehicle. It's definitely going in the Eclipse garage now. My top 50. Considering all the money I just spent on it. Oh shit. The plane, she's crashing. Alright, it's too far away, I'm not going. Yeah, it's 25 now.
Film that shit!
I gotta get my vehicles together, man. I got vehicles everywhere just right now. It's kind of... It isn't a Monitech vehicle also. Jeez, they just make them all Monitech nowadays, don't they? That's the only thing though, huh? Used to be a Monitech, they put guns on the front, they put slick mines on the back. Now it's just missile lock on jammer and that's it. How am I gonna do this? Let's just take this for now. I forgot it. I won this weird Doom buggy thing as a mystery prize on the wheel last week. I still don't know. I've never seen it before. One of these things is not like the other. Goodbye, Arbiter.
Hey,
Hey,
see ya.
damn, nobody delivered.
What you need, boss? Some wheels? I can bring them round. I'll bring it by.
I was expecting that to roll, but I didn't. So you program to the arcade? That's weird. Monstrosity. Yeah, I see that car with the wheel or the... Well, maybe. I don't know. Let me see. There's some on level 4. Looking at my Pegassi Turrera right now as we speak. do at house. Instead of turbo, there's a thing called mode, and then you can buy the mode. Nah. But it's basically, if you drive an electric vehicle, it's the same thing though. It's funny because you get the different modes and you can change them on the fly.
Do you need a drink? Bubbles or something? No rush at all. Girl is looking good. Whatever you desire. Technology and budget permitting. Look after yourself.
It broke down and got it, huh? Broke down and got it. Yeah. don't think they ever should have put into the biggest griefing tool for a game full of tryhards. Suddenly became very good at trolling, if only for the fact that it was broken mechanics. They put those missiles on it, they were so deadly accurate, they were the most accurate missiles in the game, and then they gave you unlimited amounts, and then you can just... and then they limited the amounts, but you could insta spawn a new one and with fresh missiles, so it didn't matter. They kept screwing it up. Yeah, they kept screwing up fixing it. There was no way. It was too accessible. They've taken away the accessibility now, though. That, you know, now it's $6 million. It's going to cost you that much more to get the missiles on it, and even then the missiles suck now. So they did right now, but it's too little, too late. Like the genie's out of the bottle. Like it was years and years of torture before they finally got it right.
What were you looking for? What are you after?
Yep, I screwed it up today. That's why. Just, I hate anything to do with that construction place. Yeah.
If you can think it, I can do
No, I've watched YouTube videos on it though. Looks interesting. I wish I had more patience for those type of games. I just don't.
How many cars you got in this yard? You've got an eye for this stuff. See you next time.
Not. But considering how much you just spent, you got the house and the Amani upgrade. Yeah, you need a little Kyle in your life. I'm still upgrading cars. I realized I had two Buffaloes, so I wanted to put them next to each other and make them twinsies, but then I had too many blue cars in a row, so I had to switch the color of another blue car to... I gotta switch some of these out. Well, that's what happened to Alex at first. When Alex was first making his first garage, had like 10 cars and they were all the exact same color green. I'm like, oh my god, at least make different colored greens. He's switched up his game since. But yeah, I do remember walking into a garage full of green and I was like, whoa, that's a lot of green. Yeah, you know, you want to mix it up, and when you have like 4 or 5 in a row, it's like, oh, you got a problem. You gotta mix it up a little bit. So I guess I don't know. I don't think any of those are.
Hey, honey. So, how did the job search go today?
Used to be the Ruiner, but I know that they nerfed that now.
I'm not sure she
It's
was
Not the rumor anymore. I don't know, there's a couple of them in the 4 million range. Around the 4 million range, I should say. Like late 3 millions, you know. A few of them. Like, yeah, to look at the newest cars, those are the ones that are usually the ones that are ridiculously priced.
Yeah, Mr. Reynolds is a pain in my ass. Yeah, he keeps asking me for some damn report order when he knows full well I left that shit on his desk. It don't make no sense. I don't know how these people got the jobs they got. Right about that. I'll send out a couple of resumes tomorrow to, you know, employers. No, you can pick up your
Seeing a
own.
lot of 2.8 and
Good for you to put some pants
2.9
on.
million ones.
Goodbye.
I may be thinking of the 3 million number because of all the upgrades I have to put on it. A lot of 2.8 something.
That gave me crazy last night.
Thing is that the menus like that.
Hello, Dr. Hernandez.
Hey, girl. How's life?
I wondered if I could postpone till next
I haven't. Yeah, I haven't. I also have. Do I have the Krieger? I don't think I have the Krieger. What is this? When was this released? That's what I want to know. Oh, that's an old car. Gotcha. Tesseract. I have that. I have that. The Overflood Xeno. The Dubois Champion. I have the Champion. I might have the Xeno. I think I have the Xeno. I think it's. I disliked it so much that I left it in an old garage instead of putting it in some of the newer garages. The regular Bugatti Ignis. Which, why would you buy it when there's a weaponized version now? That's also a Monty Tech. MRS X80 Proto. I own the MRS, I own the X80 Proto. I do not own the Italian MRS. I own the Tyrant. I don't own the Stinger. I own the Entity. I own the Thrax. I won that off the wheel day one of the first time the wheel. It's my very first wheel spin. I won that.
Hey, let's get up
The Entity, I own that. The Coil Cyclone, I own that. The Vigion, I own that. Virtue, I own that. I own just about 9/10 of the most expensive vehicles in the game. Let's see what we got. Sunset. Both. It used to be I was very finicky, so I would only buy the ones that I specifically wanted, you know, that, and a lot of it was based on look, a lot of it was based on money considerations too, but as I've become uber rich in this game, it's just every time a new vehicle comes out, I just buy it now. It used to be a vanity thing. Yeah, that car looks cool. That car, I've heard good things about it, or it drives really well. You know, now it's just, it's new. I'll buy it. It's something different that I don't have in the game. Okay, I'll buy it. You know, that's why I do that. Pretty much every time there's a new vehicle in the game, I pick it up. I own this Vapid Click wagon. Like, why would you buy this thing? Why? Because it just came out 2 weeks ago, so I had to have it. You know, 1.2 million for a wooden paneled wagon.
You didn't mention being married, okay? You wasn't
I put the
wearing
surfboards on top of it just to make it look cool. I was going to buy the Journey 2, the Dax's RV, but I won it off the wheel instead, so I didn't have to buy it. But I would have bought it if I didn't win it off the wheel. So it's like, why would you buy that thing? It's the worst thing to drive in this game. It's like terrible. I don't know why I buy these things. I just do. Because if you don't have something worth buying, then you just stop playing the game. If there's no purpose for you to be in the game, then why play the game? So I think that's why I do it. So I could.
It's time I told you who your father was.
Yeah, you know what though? I'm not that guy. I mean, once in a blue moon, I might grief, but 99% of the time, I never shoot first. 99% of the time, I shoot second or last. Yeah. I watch Putter's streams, famous YouTuber, and a lot of his thing is he's so good. He's like over a level 1,000, all legitimately earned, obviously. And he'd probably be more if he didn't have to go and do other things to make interesting videos, Like he created his own RP server so that people come and play with him. But his claim to fame is that he's so good that he hunts griefers, just like you said. He'll go into a lobby. If there's no griefers there, he'll go to the next lobby, and what he's looking for is he's looking for people to sell. Because usually when people are selling, that's when the griefers come out, You start seeing Raijus and crazy stuff, That's when the stuff starts happening. So he'll go and try to help protect them, or unfortunately he won't make it there in time. He'll see them blip off the map, and he'll be like, oh my lord, when he sees you go off the map. So you have to go after this guy, because obviously he's flying back in the day, they used to fly the lasers and just constantly grief people and grief cargo and stuff like that. Yeah, he's the protector of those people. He kills them in all sorts of different ways. He's really good at, like, when he's driving regular vehicles, he'll use like a flare gun as a countermeasure against suppressor Mark IIs. Because you shoot the flare up, the Mark II weaponry will lock onto them instead of you. Because they're heat-seeking. So he does crazy stuff like that. Or he'll just juke them in a regular car. Like, he doesn't need Monty-Tech cars to go after these guys. He goes into some of the shittiest cars sometimes. Puts himself in a situation, but always comes out on top. Always comes out on top. Oh, I believe it. I know. I've used it plenty of times. When you master the art of dive bombing with Deluxo, you're unstoppable. Because you don't need to lock on to people to dive bomb. You just need to be in the general vicinity and shoot the missile at the right time and pull up before you hit the ground. And you're golden every time. I've seen people just blip people out of existence over and over again with the Deluxo, despite the fact that they can't lock on to them. It's pretty impressive. I've had that happen to me once or twice before. Alex has had that happen to him once or twice before. We've been in lobbies where we're trying to sell, and one Deluxo is just giving us freaking the shit, It's like, God, how's this guy so good with the Deluxo? They're called Ruiner missiles. They originally were on the Ruiner 2000. They're also on the Deluxo, the Toreador, and the Vigilante. So any of those vehicles have the same best missile lock-ons in the game. Oh, what was the other one too? The Stromberg also has them, but nobody uses Stromberg anymore. But for a while there, before the Toreador, the Stromberg was the ultimate anti-oppressor Mark II weapon, because It was so deadly accurate. hmm before they nerfed the Oppressor Mark IIs, the Stromberg was the way to go to. That's true. You want to know the ultimate stopper for Oppressor Mark IIs? You have to cheese the system for it. You have to get a yep you have to do the Ruiner mission, get that Ruiner, and it's indestructible, and they can't stop you. You're stuck to a 15 or 20 minute timer. I don't remember, but during those 15 to 20 minutes, you could do damage. Yep, unlimited missiles. Doesn't matter how many times they hit you, the car will crumple up and stuff, but it will not die. Yeah, yeah. I got 2 crates out of 111 in my large warehouse. I just don't have the stomach to do it right
Remember, I'll do anything as long as it's legal. Ish.
now. Oh yeah, no. I filled this thing a couple of times before. Yeah, that's usually how I do it. I would do it the instant I got on. The very first thing I would do was talk to the guy in the warehouse, and then I would do crates while I'm waiting for him to come back. And then after 48 minutes, he'll be back with the stuff, and I can do it again, and then either log out or wait another 48 minutes. I don't know. Maybe I'll go to him now. It's worth it. They don't come around as often as they used to, but if you're willing to keep them open. Um, the vehicle warehouse, not in a long time. They used to do that. They've done it years ago, though. Like, it's a forgotten. It's a forgotten mechanic, man. A lot of those things they just leave in the past. They don't update them anymore. I mean, they did put them into the battle pass, so maybe they'll put them back into rotation, but I doubt it. Battle pass is just for diehards and tryhards at this point. You know, it's not. I don't see the noobs buying a vehicle warehouse because it's a good investment. But definitely it's not. I love it. It's just not a great way to make money anymore. You just get pinged all the time. If you sell in a lobby by yourself, AI comes after you after every sell mission. Or if you sell in a lobby, a public lobby, obviously 20 people, inevitably you're gonna get griefed, and it's just a pain in the ass sometimes. A pain in the ass. It's just and the reason why is because you can get one of those shit missions where you just lose like 12,000 on the car, and then you just have to blow it up and start over again. It's just annoying to do that. I hate that. It's just time wasted. With that being said, I love it. I played it much longer than anyone else did. All my other friends stopped playing that shit years ago, and I was still selling cars. Like, I remember, I want to say it was like, I don't remember. I think it was like 2 years ago I finally decided to just go after all the Mark II weaponry. I was like, I've been sitting on this for way too long. I got armor-piercing bullets, and that was it. And I always wanted the explosive sniper rounds and the fire bullets. And I just never had the stomach to do it. And I was always buying something else, so I always kept my bunker on money instead of research. But finally I said, you know what? I broke down. I was like, I got all this money. I had like 18 or 19 million at the time. I was like, this will be enough. I'll just keep, you know, because I knew it was going to cost a lot, but I also knew if as long as I kept making money in between the cooldown, that I can keep myself just above water, and that's exactly what wound up happening. I started with 19. I had to do something crazy, like 57 of them, and each one of them costs anywhere from 200 to 250,000 to do because I would expedite the research by pushing it forward. I was doing all of it out of my arcade too, so that helps. So I can like make instant money in the city rather than sitting in my bunker doing this over and over and over again and waiting. Because even if you're buying the research, you still have to wait a certain amount of time for it to make some type of research before you can buy the rest. You can't buy an empty line can't be bought. You have to have something in it in order to buy the rest. So you have to just sit there 5-6 minutes sometimes for it to make its first bar of research product, whatever you want to call it. So I started with 19 million, and I was struggling at certain points. I remember I finished with under $1 million in cash. I was broke for the first time in a very long time too. So I started stealing cars again. And I remember Alex asked me one day, he's like, "Are you broke or something? What the hell? Why are we selling cars?" I was like, "Because, man, I want to make money again, and I have fun selling the cars sometimes." And you know, it gave me a reason to do it. Not having a lot of money, I was like, I can do it now. You know, but I don't know. They got that new mechanic where you get paid extra for selling in public lobbies, and I haven't done it since that mechanic came out. So I should tell you, I just found better ways to make money, and I don't know. I got so much stuff to do in these garages, and I don't feel like doing it right now because I gotta move everything around. It's not worth it. Hey, welcome to the building. We're neighbors. Just leaving the Arcadius right now. It's funny you say that though. It's like I had always wanted the skin with that I have on it now with the it was all, you know, all white polished skin on the Office. The most expensive one, the $1 million one, yeah. I had always wanted it, but I had never been able to afford it. And then I was able to afford it, but I never went to my office anymore. And yet I still went out of my way to buy it. And I'm thinking to myself, why am I doing this? And then I reminded myself, oh, I'm doing this because I always wanted it, and it's like it's the ball and move, you know. It's like, all right, now I'm there, you know. Like even though I don't go in here and nobody is ever gonna see it, I'm gonna know it's there and I'm gonna love it because that just told me I was baller status in this game. And that was like 5 years ago too. That was a long time ago. Yeah, I do remember getting that and saying to myself, yep. I hung out in there for a little while. Went out of my way to invite people to it, even though we had no reason to go there, just so they could see it. I still like going in there every once in a while because you see all the money everywhere because of all the money that you've made in the business. So there's just money and product everywhere in your office. It's just a hot mess. Love it. I love the fact that I get specialist every single time now. I don't... Oh no, but it's an asset protection, you son of a... I was literally just crowing about how I get a specialist every time I sit down now. I don't have to go to a new lobby. Yep. And it was the only one that I refuse to do anymore. I'm not putting 10 minutes into that game just to save like four crates. I've tried every way possible to save the 10 crates. I've gone buzzards, I've gone with Presser Mark II, I've gone with Vigilante, and inevitably something happens, you run out of ammo, or you're in the wrong side of the place, and freaking you lose half the product. Yeah. You're smart. Because you want to believe that you know that you're good enough to run around the entire compound and protect 10 crates, but they die too easily. The stupid fire guys, all they have to do is put a little bit of fire to them, and they go up in flames. All you can do is sit there and watch them, and they're on your map still, and then they're on your map, and then eventually they burn down, and they blip off your map, and you're like, fuck. Couldn't save it. Asset protection again. Oh, I gotta go to public lobby to change it. Yeah, believe me, save yourself the trouble. It's not worth it. For a while there, when it was the only specialist I was getting for a little while, I would do them, because even if you save just one box, you get credit for a specialist mission. You don't get any money for it. You get like 10,000 or 5,000 for the one box, but it was worth it just to knock another specialist off. But now I don't have to worry about that anymore. Now I can more variety of specialist missions and specialist plus missions. I just don't do asset protection anymore. It's not worth it. Yeah, we gotta make up for it tomorrow. I worked all day. I sweat so much. I lost so much fluid. It's freaking ridiculous. It's so hot. Everywhere in the United States is hot right now. It's freaking boiling. Okay, Terminator. Liquidize this. Cover valuable specialist plus. We're doing this in a public lobby.
Anything I can do for you, boss?
Yes, I need my virtue. Can't have people attacking me. I think the Virtue's got a minigun. At the very least it has mines. I know it has mines.
Hey, look, so our client...
I'm only going... Any of these is only 3/4 of a mile usually. When it... recovering valuables, it's usually Tequila La or... Yeah, I keep the Virtue in the agency. Again, I put it there. I don't know. I had the Buffalo in there at first, and I probably could have kept it there, but I wanted to. I don't know why I chose not to use the Buffalo. That's the EVX, the electric one. Same thing, I guess. I don't know. When I first drove this Virtue, I was like, man, this car is the shit. I have not changed my mind on that. I suppose I can actually that new car that we have now. I can see myself rocking that for a while. That's got the best of all worlds, except no weapons on it though. But house and a Monitech, just like this Virtue. That's the other reason why I have this. Is it's a house and a Monitech vehicle, so it's fast and It is. I brought it there. I got it. I got it right at the house.
You worthless piece of shit! Heads down! Fuck off and die! Out! Ass liquor!
back on the stick usually.
Anything I can do for you, boss? Stay safe, boss.
Supposed to go to New York tomorrow, but now I guess we're going next week. Yeah, I was supposed to go to this place called Nirvana. It's a restaurant where you can either play board games at your table, or you could rent retro consoles and play them at your table. Each table's got like its own TV. No, Rochester. I'm sure there's a place like that in New York City. Oh yeah, they're all over the place. They're here too. There's a couple of them. I like the local arcades. They're usually the ones that have like the most variety of stuff. Like I don't like the Dave and Buster type places anymore. They suck.
All right, got it. I'll ask around
Dave
to get
and
back to you.
Buster's a block, like 2 blocks away from me, and it was just built in like 2019. But it's already kind of like just feels old, worn down, even though it's like 4 years old.
Man, this should be a wholesome...
It's the middle of the night and somebody's playing golf. And I have to run out. I'm looking forward to GTA 6 just so I don't have to hear the same lines that every thug says in the game. Alright, I'm gonna be getting off Village 2K before I go to sleep. Probably by myself. Yesterday, well, Alex was watching my stream. He was probably still at work, or he was probably asleep or going to sleep, one or the other. Sometimes he's tired when he gets home from work and he takes naps. Last night it was me, Alex, and Captain Devins.
Look, don't call this number again, okay?
But we went into rack and we played with randoms, and randoms sold the shit out of us. We went like all together. I think we went like 3-2 for the night, but like the 3 wins were tough because the randos were selling, and the 2 losses were especially tough because the randos were selling. You always know on Fridays and Saturdays if you're playing with randos, you're just going to get the worst randos, and you're going to go up against like super competent teams that can beat up on randos, you know. It's almost like that's why I don't play with randos on the weekends, because it's usually the worst randos come out on the weekends, and the best players to play against come out on the weekends. So I think I'll stand a little bit better of a chance on a Sunday night. Everyone has to work in the morning and stuff. Except for me, I have tomorrow off. Alright, well, yeah, I got like the next 2 days off, so if you're on, we have to do those short trip missions. Sunday night. Yeah, well, if you're on tomorrow, knock those out.
This coat costs more than you make in a year.
Alright, I'll talk to you later.